Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video we're going to be looking at Evercade carts 6 to 10 and checking out their suitability and compatibility on the Super Pocket. Now we already have covered carts 1 to 5. If you've missed that, I'll leave a link in the description. But without further ado, let's check out carts 6 to 10. Are there any must-have carts in this bundle? Let's find out. Okay guys, first up we're looking at Namco Museum Collection 2. This is cart number 6 and this is obviously the second of the Namco collections. However, this is also a legacy cart, which means it's no longer manufactured by Blaze, but you might still be able to pick it up from some stores. I've seen some of these still in game stores in the UK. However, it might start to get more and more tricky as we get through the year. So the games on here, we've got Pack Attack, Galaga, Warpman, Dig Dug 2, Tower of Drauga, Burning Force, Philios, Weapon Lord, Dragon Spirit, Splatterhouse Part 2 and 3. Some really decent games here. I think they're a mix of NES games and Mega Drive titles. Might even be a SNES game in there as well. Yeah, so let's have a look at some of these games on the Super Pocket. Okay, let's have a look at the Namco Collection 2. An interesting selection of games. A few classics here. We've got Dig Dug. Now, a lot of these NES are NES titles, but they're really decent. I think at this point, the NES done some really good arcade conversions. Dragon Spirit is fantastic fun. Got Galaga. Let's have a look at Galaga. I think this one looks amazing on this little screen. Got to love that. And for me, this is the type of game that's absolutely perfect for this little screen. It looks fantastic and the colours are popping as well. This is certainly one of those games you'll love to have a quick blast. So if you love this type of stuff, then this collection would be for you. It's absolutely brilliant. I really love it. Okay, we also have Pack Attack. Not really a big fan of Pack Attack. We've got Philios, which is a shooter. Splatterhouse Part 2 and 3. Let's have a look at them. Really must have a look at them. What's wrong with the sound up here? How good does that look? The graphics are fantastic, very colourful and big large sprites, got to love it. I'm pretty sure this is the Mega Drive version. Ah! Quite a quirky little game, very interesting. I think it does get a little bit repetitive, but it's still a big fan favourite out there, I know. So Weapon Lord is one of those games that looks fantastic, but it's absolutely horrible. Now I'm going to play it just for a specific reason, to highlight a few things. But most of the games are absolutely fine and playable on here, but just in case you do pick this cart up, I want to play it just to make sure it's not an issue with the Super Pocket. It's one of these games that looks absolutely amazing, but plays absolutely awful, which is a bit of a shame. And I'm not sure if it's just me, but it just feels unbelievably tough to play. And I feel at times there's definitely a little bit of lag when you're trying to press the button. But it looks fantastic. But you're getting absolutely brutalised by the opponent. And I'm trying to press the button and nothing's happening. And yeah, I've absolutely no chance. See, there's a bit of a lag when you're pressing the button. But that's just how the game is. It's nothing to do with the Super Pocket. But it's unbelievably difficult to play this one. Which is a shame, because I think this game looks absolutely amazing. But it's unbelievably horrible to actually play. Now there's a few other decent games, there are a few shooters on here. Burning Force is another one. It kind of looks a bit like, what's that, Space Harrier type of game. Couldn't remember the name there. Sometimes I don't always agree with the button layout that Blaze have, and unfortunately you can't actually change that on these devices. But there's no doubt this game is really cool. And on this little device the colours are popping as usual. Absolutely fantastic. Looks like the Death Star up ahead. Okay, let's have a look at Interplay Collection 2. This is collection number 7. It only has 6 games, and much like the first Interplay Collection, it's probably not my most favourite cart on Evercade. However, if you do like Earthworm Jim and the Claymates and Clay Fighter, that type of thing, you might enjoy this. However, yeah, definitely not my favourite collection. We've got Claymates, Earthworm Jim 2, Clay Fighter 2, Prehistoric Man, Rad Gravity and the Brainies. An interesting collection of game. There's some reasonably decent games here, but it's not really a cart I've spent an awful lot of time with. But let's have a look at some of the games. Obviously we've got Earthworm Jim 2, let's have a look at this. Maybe arguably better than the first game. Now, interestingly, the actual button layout for Earthworm Jim 2 is completely different to Earthworm Jim 1. And I think it's actually better given the fact that the A button is now the jump button. I think the layout is much better, but on the original cart, the layout is a little bit different with Y jumps, and I just find it really annoying to actually play through. But anyway, there's no doubt that this looks fantastic on this little device, and it's certainly a nice one to pick up if you like Earthworm Jim. Okay, we've also got Prehistoric Man, which is actually quite a decent platformer. Let's have a look at this too. Now, not a lot of people actually talk about this game, and I think it's actually pretty decent. Quite an underrated title on Evercade. Graphics are terrific, very, very colourful indeed, love it. And this is certainly one you want to be trying out in your Super Pocket. The levels, there's quite a lot of variety in the levels as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I would recommend this one, really nice. Okay, you've got text there as well, but it's just about readable, so you can get away with it absolutely fine. So another quirky title is The Adventures of Rad Gravity. This is a NES title. Now, despite this cart only having 6 games, and yet might not be a fan favourite out there, there's still some really nice games that are worth picking up and playing. Okay, it's definitely one of those titles that's a little bit in the quirky, weird side. But yeah, I don't know whether the character always made me feel a little bit like Rick Dangerous or something like that. But it's obviously not like that type of game at all, but it's still pretty good fun to play through. Okay, Brainies, I want to point out something as well, and I'm not going to play through Claymates. It's pretty much like the first game, except it's probably a wee bit easier to play. I prefer that one to the first one, but let's have a look at Brainies for a specific reason. Now, this is a puzzle game, and I felt when I was playing it, the sound seemed a little bit jumpy, but I think I put it into the EXP and it's pretty much exactly the same. Just seems slightly worse on the Super Pocket. There's sort of a little bit of rasping in the sound here and there, but it's just how the game is, I think. Certainly seemed a bit jumpy, so there's maybe some compatibility issues. You can see it does seem as if it's jumping a bit, but I think it's still done that on the EXP, but it just seems a lot worse on here. So the idea is to try and get the Brainy onto the sort of relative coloured circle. And then obviously through the game you get other Brainies as well. We get 3 or 4 of them. You need to match them up to their respective circles. It's alright, it works okay. I'm not sure it's the greatest game ever. But if you like your puzzle games, this is obviously worth a try. But there are better puzzle games on Evercade. Okay, let's have a look at Mega Cat Studio Collection 1. This is cart number 8. And this one came complete with 10 games. Now at the time this was certainly a big favourite with everyone. Looking back at it now, it's maybe slightly overrated, but it does have a game that's absolutely amazing, and many people see this as being the best game on Evercade, and it doesn't even appear on the front cover, which is absolutely insane. It should have been the main star for me. Okay, we've got 10 games. We've got Coffee Crisis, Old Towers, Little Medusa, Super Painter, Multi-Dude, Almost Hero, Creepy Brawlers, Justice Duel, Log Jammers, and just in the tiniest of pictures up here, potentially one of the best games you'll play on Evercade, it's Tanzer. Now let's have a look at the games now. Lots of decent games here. Some, actually looking back at them now, maybe I've overrated this cart a little bit, but it's certainly one of those carts you really must pick up for this game, Tanzer, which is absolutely fantastic. Almost Hero I really don't enjoy. Coffee Crisis, it looks fantastic, but I really don't think it's that great at all. There's no doubt for me that Coffee Crisis looks fantastic, the presentation is terrific, but really I just found this game to be really dull to play through. given the fact that I don't feel as if there's enough weapons, and you sort of got this coffee bag that you use to strike the enemies, but it's just absolutely tedious. I'm pretty sure there's fans out there of this game, but for me, I think it's one of the most overrated games out there, which is a shame because I think it looks great. I just don't feel that's great to actually play through. Okay, we've got Creepy Brawlers, which is kind of like a Punch-Out style game. Justice Duel, I probably should have a look at this one because the graphics are pretty small. And ideally this one is probably meant as a kind of a multiplayer game, whereas obviously on the Super Pocket you've just got one player, and that's me, or you. Or whoever's playing. Okay, very odd game, but yeah, I'm not sure. If you look at the in-game graphics here, I think they're a little bit small on the screen. It can be a little bit tricky to see what you're doing, but obviously you can see here it fits the screen perfectly well, but it's certainly one of those ones I kind of feel it's a little bit of a strain on the eyes to actually play through, given that the colour palette as well doesn't actually help. It's alright though, but I reckon it's definitely better if you've got 2 or 3 players playing this one, rather than playing yourself. Okay, we've got Little Medusa, that's a puzzle game. We've got Log Jammers, which is a bit like Wind Jammers. Have a look at that, this is actually really good fun. And obviously the idea is to try and basically get the swirly thing past the opponent. Pretty tricky though. I'm not the greatest at it at all. A little bit of potluck sometimes. Ah! And he won. But you see here, it does look nice on this little pocket. Okay, we've got Multi-Dude, which is actually pretty decent. However, I felt this one, the graphics were a little bit small for the device. This is a puzzle style game. It does look nice, but you see the main graphics here is pretty small. You might actually strain your eyes a little bit when you're playing it. It's a decent challenge though, and it's a very good puzzle game, but I'm not so sure it's great on the Super Pocket. So we've got Old Towers as well, which looks absolutely fantastic. This is a Mega Drive title. You see here the graphics are popping, great colours, great sound, and it's a nice little puzzle game too. So you're really just going around collecting the coins, getting to the exit, banging tunes too. Great little game though, highly recommend, and it does look absolutely fantastic. Okay, we've got Super Painter now. That's a bit like Multi-Dude. The graphics are a little bit small, but it's still a fantastic game. But the best game on this collection is without a doubt Tanzer, and it's probably one of the best games on Evercade. I would highly recommend you check this out. Now this is basically like a Strider style slash 'em up game, but maybe arguably this is better. Great music, great sound, great gameplay. It's little wonder that this is seen as one of the best games on Evercade. And it's kind of one of those ones that was a sleeper hit, and it was only really through fans letting everyone know how amazing this game was and discovering it for yourself. Absolutely fantastic. Unlike my gameplay. Okay, next up is Pico Collection 1. This one has 20 games, and this one certainly seems to me one of the best value carts you will find on Evercade. A great selection, a great mix of brilliant games. Unfortunately though, this cart has been made legacy by Blaze, meaning they no longer manufacture it. You should be able to still find it out there, but you may have to start paying through the odds for this collection. This is cart number 9. And it has obviously 20 games. What a collection of games this is. A very decent mix of NES games, SNES games and Mega Drive titles. And it has one of my favourite games here in Switchblade. But there's a whole mix of different styles of genres as well. You got RPGs, you get fighters, platformers, and you got a couple of racing games as well, which is fantastic. So excellent stuff, a really good value cart. You might have trouble picking it up though, but I would highly recommend it. But let's have a look at some of the games now. Now I'm not going to play through every game because it would take far too long, but since there's so many good titles on here, I'll try and play through as many as I possibly can. Obviously nice sound, graphics are fantastic. It certainly suits this Super Pocket perfectly. Again, not really sure what the old button mapping carry on. It'd be good if we could change it on the Super Pocket, but it is what it is. I just feel that the jump button being up at Y just seems a little bit awkward for me. But yeah, still a really good fun game. Now this one is really, really nice, and it's kind of a different to your Final Fantasy, like the monsters you see on the screen. You could probably avoid if you don't want to fight them. But yeah, I really like this one. It is very, very good. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of RPGs on Evercade. There's not a lot of decent ones anyway. This one might be the best one, perhaps. Arguably. Okay, we've also got Canon Legend of the New Gods. That's a kind of an RPG as well. It's a little bit different to the other game, which is cool. York and Yump, seen that. Dragon View, it's another RPG style game. Very cool. This one's obviously, I think this one known as Draken 2. Also we have the original on here as well, Draken. Now it's obviously an acquired taste, this sort of thing. It is very, very different, very weird. I think I probably would prefer to play through this one than the original. I feel the original one's a little bit tricky to get into. But yeah, pretty nice. I think you actually fight the bad guys in real time, which is kind of a bizarrely weird. Okay, we've also got Draken. I'll have a quick look at that. I just don't really think this is ideal for this device. You can see sometimes the text is absolutely fine on this, but obviously the graphics and sprites are pretty small, and it does get a little bit fiddly. You can see you've got your stuff on the right here that you get to choose from, but yeah, it's a little bit of a fiddly one. Still looks pretty nice, but you've got those random battles as well, which kind of gets a little bit annoying, and I'm not very good at this at all. Okay, you've got Iron Commando, which is a scroll and beat 'em up. That's actually pretty good. Jump Power, oh my god, I probably won't play through that, it's so hard. And you got Magic Girl, which is actually a shooter, and that's pretty decent as well. Nightshade, let's have a quick look, because I really think this is one of those point and clicks that's not really for any Evercade device at all. And obviously you see the text there, it's not the best to read, to be honest. And it's very text heavy at times, but it's fiddly. You've got a lot of stuff to choose from. Do you really want to play that? I don't know, I don't know. Got Power Pigs, very odd. Power Punch, Power Punch 2. Radical Wretch, which is a fun game. And we've got The Humans, The Immortal, Water. Oh, there's so many good games on here. Anyway, let's have a look at Top Racer. I've obviously zipped past Switchblade, which is fantastic. I love that game. But let's have a look at a driving game. Then we'll move on to the final collection. See, this is Top Racer, also known as Top Gear. Also we have Top Gear 2 as well on another collection, which we'll cover at some point. And this is great fun. Kind of feels a lot like the Lotus Turbo Challenge series, which I think it's the same company that actually made these games, and it kind of shows quite a lot. But yeah, that's pretty good. I'd rather it was Lotus Turbo Challenge, but still, it's a pretty good fun game to play through. And looks great on this little device. Apart from the fact I'd love if it was full screen rather than the split sort of screen you see here. But still, it's pretty good fun. Okay, we've got Water Margin, which we showed as well, but yeah, let's have a quick look at Switchblade, because this is definitely my favourite game here, but it certainly won't be for everyone. One of those games that's very, very quirky, weird, the combat is awful, but I love the sort of style. I love searching for all those sword pieces. I absolutely love this game. But yeah, beware, it certainly won't be for everyone. Love the tune. One of the best soundtracks ever, absolutely fantastic. Anyway guys, let's move on. Okay, let's have a look at Technos Collection 1 with 8 games. Now this collection is selling for over 100 quid on eBay, which is absolutely insane. I have seen a few people still pick this up in game stores as well, still for the original price of $17.99. But yeah, this one's also a legacy collection, meaning it's no longer made. It's cart number 10. It's the one that has all the sort of Double Dragon titles on it. Double Dragon 1, 2 and 3. River City Ransom, Super Dodgeball, Super Spike Volleyball, Renegade, Crash Boys, Street Challenge. Personally, I'm not really a big fan of Double Dragon. Obviously, apologies if you love it. I know there's a lot of fans out there absolutely love it, and they are falling over themselves to try and pick up this collection now that it's gone legacy. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the games. Okay, let's have a look at the Technos collection. Crashing the Boys, absolutely hate, I think it's awful. Double Dragon, Double Dragon 2, Renegade, River City Ransom, Super Dodgeball, Super Double Dragon, Super Spike Volleyball, and that's it. So that's your games. I think really this is meant for Double Dragon fans. If you love your Double Dragon on the NES, you'll absolutely love this. I think the Super Double Dragon is probably SNES, I think. But yeah, if you love Double Dragon, this is for you. Otherwise, stay clear. Me, I'm not really a big fan of these games. I prefer stuff like Final Fight, Captain Commando, that type of thing. But Double Dragon, I know it has a massive fan base, so if you love this, then you are really going to want to get this cart. Hopefully not at over 100 quid though. Let's have a look at Double Dragon. Now there's no doubt it does look fantastic on the Super Pocket, fills the screen nicely, very colourful, absolutely brilliant. It's just me, I sometimes think some of these games certainly sound and look a lot better on the Super Pocket. Certainly something I maybe need to do some comparison between the EXP and the Super Pockets. Both of them have their good points and bad points. Again, never really been a big fan of the Double Dragon games. Had the Double Dragon on the C64, which was pretty bad to be fair. This version is definitely a lot better. Okay, we've also got Double Dragon 2. Let's have a quick bash at that as well. I love the fact that Blaze Entertainment is mentioned in some of these. I don't remember seeing that originally. More of the same. Sprites are a little bit larger, I guess, but yeah, it's pretty decent stuff. Was never particularly great at this game, but I probably prefer this one over the original Double Dragon. Super move. I'm not really that great at this, to be honest. In fact, I'm practically awful at it. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we've also got Renegade, which is alright. I find the sprites are a little bit small on this device for me. Yeah, it doesn't look the greatest, but arguably I probably prefer playing this over Double Dragon, which is kind of weird, but it's more of the same stuff. Another beat 'em up. If you love that sort of thing, then you're going to absolutely love this collection. Also, we've got River City Ransom now. Arguably that could be the best game in this collection. I kind of like this game. I love the quirky style of graphics. Obviously it does play kind of similar to your Double Dragon stuff, but I love the quirkiness of this one. I probably would rather play this over Double Dragon. Good fun, I love it. Okay, Dodgeball, Super Double Dragon 3, which I'm not going to play through. I'm not really sure it's that great, to be honest. Spike Ball, and the sort of last game there, which was Crash the Boys. I don't really like that game. I never got used to it at all. Now this game I would probably avoid because it is horrible for me. There's so much flickering, I find this game completely unplayable. That's the same on any device, but for me all that flickering is very off-putting and there's a lot of slowdown. I absolutely hate it. It kind of feels a lot worse on here. Maybe it's just me, it just feels terrible. Okay guys, that's our look at carts 6 to 10 on the Super Pocket. Stay tuned, we'll have the next collections coming up, 11 to 15, and also I'm going to be ranking every game on the Super Pockets. Thanks for watching, catch you in the next one. Bye for now.